very, very patient Gretchen Carlson is with us.
Thank you for waiting.
Yes.
I was looking forward to it.
Well, thank you for being here and waiting. She's written a book about growing up in Minnesota, winning Miss America. We know, of course, today is Fox News Channel's host of The Real Story with Gretchen Carlson.
As far as the courts, there are no major legal challenges against Obamacare in play right now that would chip, break, or crack away President Obama's signature domestic achievement in any way. So it appears, unless it's voted on and signed by any future president to repeal and replace, it is the law of the land. And you can always get my
That's
take.
her take. That's one way that we know you. Of course, you were Miss America. I thought we were going to show this footage. We'll show it a little bit later. But before anything else, what a day not to be working.
Oh, I know, but that clip was just from yesterday,
your take
when the
yesterday.
Obamacare ruling came down.
The second biggest decision of the Supreme Court season.
Exactly.
All right, a couple of hours ago, the decision came down 5-4 along the political lines you would think. Same-sex marriage protected by the 14th Amendment. If you were doing my take right now,
What would it be?
what's your take?
Well, I don't know if I would actually choose today to do that. It really is something that I feel passionate about. And, you know, I'm a big believer in individual freedoms. So that would be probably what I would say on that topic. But I think it's historic, obviously. I'm kind of regretful that I'm not in the studio today to be at least doing interviews about it.
Sure.
But to a certain extent, because I'm a journalist and I'm doing hard news now during the day on Fox News, I'm not going to give an absolute personal opinion about it.
When you are on Fox and Friends, you were giving more personal opinions. And if I, for a moment, might ask you to fade back into that, I've always perceived you as a traditionalist. This is not a traditionalist decision by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but I think that we've come a long way. And even earlier in the show, you were saying how the overall opinion across America has changed so dramatically on this issue in the last 20 years. You know, my children who are 10 and 12 look at this issue completely differently than we might have growing up.
They know things we didn't understand.
And they know who they are, and you know, they're comfortable in that, and they also see so much more than we did. And so I think that the world has changed dramatically on this. There's going to be people who are for and against it, but for me, it's most importantly to just cover it in a fair and balanced way.
Right now, let's go to, let's roll some footage here.
Down memory lane.
Yeah. What was,
Years ago. The two short ones, okay? Miss Colorado was also my height at 5'3", and she was the first runner-up. Of course, I always say that height was not a category in Miss America. It was mainly based on talent and interview, and then the money that you won is used towards your education.
And you had talent coming out of your pores, especially when it came to your violin, right?
I'm sorry for interrupting. Oh, here you are on the violin. Are you the shortest Miss America ever?
No, but thank you for asking that.
Okay.
The very first Miss America ever in the early 1900s was 5'1". And in fact, my own grandfather told me, you know, you're never going to be able to win Miss America. You're too short. So I went to the library. This is before the internet. I found out Margaret Gorman was only 5'1".
But everybody was 5'1" back then.
Well, maybe. Okay, good point.
All right.
But there is no height category. It's all based on talent.
No, what I was leading to is now I'm sitting with you. I worked for years with Tawny Little.
Oh, yes.
Who is
another form of Miss America.
5'10" and a half.
Right.
So she was on the other side of the scale here.
Yeah.
All right, that violin, that wasn't just a gimmick thing that you did to show I have a talent. You, as everything you do, you were totally all in on that. That was your life.
It was as a child. So I really wanted to be a concert violinist, and then at 17, I burned out. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine I would enter the Miss America pageant. I struggled with my weight growing up as a kid, and in a big way. And I still struggle with it today. It's just that I know how to deal with it a little bit better. But the big lesson from that is that I built my self-esteem from the inside of my soul and from this gift that I've been given on the violin. So when I decided to quit, my parents wanted me to find another way to use that talent to possibly achieve a different kind of a goal. My mom found out about Miss America. 50% of the points were based on talent. She called me up at Stanford. She said, I found something for you to try, Miss America. And I said, no way. You know, I never envisioned myself as a tomboy doing something like that.
But you did. And then
the lesson is life works in mysterious ways.
Look how cute you are there.
And yet, was this when you were being called all types of names by one of the judges?
So one of my judges was a famous movie director, and he wrote a scathing book about me the next year where he called me Miss Piggy throughout and called me fat.
I mean,
at 108 pounds. Trust me, I'm never going to be 108 ever again.
Congratulations. Let me ask you this. You have been, because of the role you've played, the target of a lot of ridicule. Jon Stewart has dined out on you for years.
He wouldn't have a show without us, right?
He just waits for you to say, I looked it up in Google, and he's out after you. I know on the surface you're a good sport about it. Down deep, how are you?
No, you know what? After turning 40, I became very liberated. I really don't pay attention to that stuff. I talk about it in the book because I say that coming to Fox, I reached the bimbo trifecta.
Which is?
Blonde, former Miss America, and now Fox News host.
There you go. Bingo.
But really what the serious part of that is, when people don't want to debate you about the smart issues of the day, it's just easier sometimes to call you a dumb blonde. And why do I talk about that in the book? Because I worry about our young people putting up with that kind of commentary on social media now today. I mean, I think the three of us can handle it for the most part, don't pay a lot of attention to it. But young kids are committing suicide over one comment on social media, and I wanted to, raise it in the book to bring in more national conversation.
Well, lots of good stories in the book that you share with. I wish we had more time.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for waiting. And thank you for being
no, it's
here.
great
Nice
to be with you guys. I'm going to be at the Reagan Library tonight.
Yes.
And then tomorrow, the Nixon Library, 11 a.m. I'm going to show up at 9. Why not?
Why
But
not?
I'm actually going to be there speaking at 11.
Thank you, Gretchen Carlson.